Hey guys, do you know if you're currently being underpaid? Salary ignorance keeps workers underpaid. Let's talk about it. Now, I've applied to various jobs over the years, but I've never applied to a job to take a lower salary. One of the main reasons why people are applying for jobs is to get a higher salary. Now, sure, there is also a sense of purpose, and this is my passion. But more often than not, people are applying and getting other jobs because there's a higher salary attached to them. But with millions of jobs currently practicing salary secrecy, it's becoming harder to determine if a job will actually pay you more. Is the grass actually greener on the other side? Speaking of jobs, consider that over 20 million jobs are in the public sector. So this means city government, county government, state government, federal government. And compare that with over 100 million jobs being in the private sector, which basically means that over 80% of the jobs today in this country are in the private sector. Now, in the public sector, your salary isn't necessarily a secret. If you're in an office and your boss is a GS-13, you know how much a GS-13 makes. If your coworkers is a GS-9 and a GS-12, you know how much your coworkers make. When there's a job announcement or an opportunity for promotion and you apply to that, you know how much the salary range is for that position. No one is trying to pull the curtains on you. There is no secret. And this is the same for state and city jobs, where they're posting you the salary range for the position. Now let's look at the military. In the military, you're basically wearing your pay on your chest in the way of rank. So we know how much the private that's sweeping the sidewalk, we know how much he gets paid. Way too less if you ask me. We know how much the battalion commander, the colonel that's sitting in the office, we know how much he makes. The general who's a division commander, we know their salary too. It is no secret. But things can be dramatically different in the private sector. Right now, only about 20% of the jobs in the private sector are actually disclosing their salary ranges. The others are not practicing what we call pay transparency. A recent article suggests that if people were aware of the differences in salary, 10 to 17% of those jobs would not be viable, meaning that they would remain vacant because nobody would be applying for them. Companies would literally have to increase the amount that they're paying. In fact, most people believe if they took a similar job in the next 3 or 4 months to another company, that their pay would remain the same, which means they have an idea in their head that they're being paid fairly. But on average, when people change companies, even if it's a similar job, they end up earning more. So why are people pessimistic about their earning potential? Well, it's because a lot of people are reluctant to give that information up. They don't want to disclose how much they're making. And when others ask them how much they're making, a lot of times they won't be upfront. They won't tell them. So what happens then is we all stay in the dark. In one study conducted recently, 89% of people would be uncomfortable to ask what their coworker was making. And 30% of people said they would feel uncomfortable disclosing their salary even if they were paid a small bonus to do so. Overall, salary secrecy and people unwilling to negotiate their pay is what keeps a lot of workers underpaid. But there is some good news. Another study suggested that the younger workers, meaning the next generation coming behind us, the younger people are more in favor of salary transparency. And they're more willing to seek and to share their salary information with others. Now there's also new laws spreading across the country to disclose the salary range of jobs that are being posted online. California was one of the first states to pass Equal Pay Act, which requires that companies provide a salary range to all applicants who ask. But how many applicants are really going to ask? I know that's one area where applicants get really frustrated with. If you go on a website like Indeed or Monster or any other type of job-seeking website and you're looking through all the vacancies and all the job postings, but you do not see a salary listed. So what some people end up doing is they apply to these jobs hoping and thinking that maybe the salary range is $60,000 to $80,000 because that's what they need to survive. And then after all the interviews and they finally get the job offer, they find out it's for $40,000 or $45,000 a year. And even if they're extended the job offer, they can't accept it because that doesn't meet their bare minimum standard of keeping their lifestyle of where it's at. So this has been a great source of frustration for many people that have been searching for jobs. Following California, a lot of other states have been doing the same thing. States like Colorado, Maryland, Rhode Island, and others. They're passing their own type of Fair Pay Act. What about you? Do you feel like you're being paid fairly? Would you be willing to disclose your salary if asked? Let me know down below. Well, that wraps up my video on Are You Severely Overpaid? If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.